Donald Trump's Justice Department released more of the Epstein files, including notes from FBI interviews with a woman who said she was sexually assaulted by Donald Trump when she was 13 years old. It is unclear how fully the FBI investigated her claims, and Donald Trump has denied any wrongdoing linked to Epstein. According to an MS Now analysis of the 20 newly released documents, which comprise fewer than 1,000 pages, notwithstanding the small size of the production and the Justice Department's repeated assurances that it would protect victim safety and privacy, MS Now found the first and or last names of at least 21 known or suspected survivors. Some of these names were left unredacted multiple times. Epstein survivor Danielle Bensky said this on this network earlier today.
We've had so many conversations with the Democrats, the Republicans. We're in offices and we're constantly saying how important the redaction process is and getting it right is. And you would think that after twice already, especially after the last release where, our lawyers talked to them, everybody's, there's been so much conversation around this topic. And then to see it yet again on Friday or Thursday, I believe it was, it's really beyond, frustrating puts it so mildly. Yeah. It's gutting.
In a statement, House Oversight Committee Democrats said, let's be clear, this White House cover-up is ongoing. Millions of pages still remain concealed from the public and our committee. We will get answers when Pam Bondi appears before our committee under oath. Joining us now is Democratic Congressman Ro Khanna of California. He's a member of the House Oversight Committee. Let me begin with what we just heard from yet another survivor about the redactions problem. I don't even know what to call it, that this Trump Justice Department could continue to put out material that does not have their names redacted.
It's heartless. And these survivors are reliving their trauma. They're being victimized a second time. And it's preventable. Bradley Edwards, who's been on your program, who you introduced, he has been offering to go to the DOJ to help set up the protocols. He said, let me get the other survivors' lawyers in there. And they are not involving them. They'll return an email, but it takes Bradley Edwards barraging the DOJ. And it just shows a total callousness. Meanwhile, they're covering up for the president. They're covering up in terms of at least his embarrassment and not releasing these 3 files that they were forced to release. And they're covering up for people who actually abused these girls.
So millions of Epstein file documents still not released, which just, I assume, means your crusade on this continues.
It continues because it's personal, because these survivors have sat in my office. They've sat in Thomas Massie's office. They were abused. They were raped. And they want justice. And the half of the files that are out proves to the country that what we were talking about was not a hoax, that some of the most powerful people are involved. And the worst stuff is still in these files, that the names of some of these people, which have been scrubbed by Donald Trump's FBI. But look, here's why people shouldn't give up hope, because when people cover it, when journalists make a big deal of it, then suddenly Pam Bondi relents and then we get 10,000 more files, 40,000 more files. So we need to just be on this until we can get a judge to order the release of the rest of the files.
And, of course, Donald Trump launches wars in Venezuela or Iran to try to deflect from this, among other reasons. The Pam Bondi testimony that I just referred to, I know people in the audience out there are thinking, oh, okay, so the Attorney General is going to come to the committee and do her usual insult comedian bad act in front of your committee. Is that the way it's going to go?
It won't. And it's so disrespectful seeing her do that when survivors are there. But this time she's not going to be able to go just insult me or insult Robert Garcia. She's going to be deposed. And she's going to be...
So a deposition is completely different from what people have grown accustomed to as a congressional hearing with the Attorney General.
Completely different, because the people asking her the questions are going to be qualified lawyers. They're going to get an hour, not 5 minutes. She's going to have to answer those questions under oath, not just respond with barbs at members of Congress. And this is why it was so important what Nancy Mace, myself, Robert Garcia did. I mean, we got 24-19. We won that vote to subpoena Pam Bondi to be under oath. And she's going to have to explain, why were these 3 files covered up that involved Donald Trump? Why are half the files still redacted and not being shown to the American people? Why was there the prison transfer for Ghislaine Maxwell? There's a lot she has to explain. And by the way, the next president can prosecute her. Now, maybe Trump preemptively pardons her, but Trump is not known to stick around with people who are political liabilities.
Yeah, there's real legal liability for her in under oath testimony on this matter.
And it's finally going to be forcing her to answer the questions. They ask her, why is the file still redacted? She says, well, Thomas Massie, you don't know what you're talking about. Now she's going to have to answer yes or no under oath. It is one of the most significant moments when we're going to get her under oath.
Congressman Ro Khanna, thank you very much for joining us tonight.